This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Promises are being made for new Manitoba supports for businesses hit hard by tariffs. But the details, those are yet to come. And as CBC's Bartlett Kivas reports, businesses are eager to find out what they are and if they'll be enough to weather the storm.
In Winnipeg's North Transcona yards, Hunter Wire Limited makes cables, meshes, and other metal products out of steel manufactured in both Canada and the United States. Starting September 8th, steel purchases from the U.S. will be subject to counter tariffs. Hunter Wire's president wishes this wasn't the case.
We are an integrated supply chain across the border. It doesn't matter how much we want to buy Canadian. There are certain things that we just have to buy from the U.S. From time to time, and if those are tariffed in as well, it just continues to escalate in our cost base.
Earlier this week, Premier Wabkinew said provincial supports of some sort will be offered to tariff-affected Manitoba businesses.
We have to keep the corporate sector moving along, but if there are the impacts on the actual workers and the people on the front lines, we have to make sure that we don't leave those folks behind either.
Koss says supports for laid-off workers is important, but EI programs don't help businesses stay open. He says Hunter Wire hasn't received any provincial support since U.S. tariffs were imposed on Canadian steel last year.
Keeping people employed, I would say, is more important.
The economy critic for the PC opposition says businesses aren't looking for handouts.
They don't want to see corporate welfare. They want to see government getting out of the way of them doing business, allow them to take advantage of opportunity that exists. And that means being more competitive with reduced taxes.
David Koss agrees.
Fix our infrastructure and stop taxing profits.
The Premier's office says it will provide more details about relief for tariff-affected businesses later this week. Bartlett Kivas, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg police are adding an AI translation tool to body-worn cameras being tested by officers.
Do you know how to read English at all? I don't.
Вы вообще умеете читать по-английски?
Меня отравили сегодня утром.
The program has more than 50 languages in its database and will allow officers to interact with the public in the language of their choice.
If an officer should come across somebody and not even recognize the language that they're speaking, they simply have to push one small button and the device will hear and recognize that language and then translate it to English. The officer can then answer back in English or French if they're French speaking, and it'll translate into the language of that individual they're dealing with.
About 40 Winnipeg police officers are currently using body-worn cameras. Police hope to launch the translation feature by Friday. It will be evaluated when the pilot project ends in December. A former Manitoba MP is facing more charges. Inky Mark represented the federal riding of Dauphin, Swan River, Nipawin for 13 years. In July, RCMP seized 439 guns, an antique cannon, and $300,000 in cash from his house after searching it. Mark was hit with a dozen charges. Now, a further 6 firearms and more than 26 kilos of explosives have also been seized. The 78-year-old was rearrested on another 26 counts, including weapons trafficking. A 22-year-old security guard was hospitalized after being stabbed at a Dollarama in St. James. Winnipeg police were called to the Portage Avenue store around 4 yesterday afternoon. They say the guard had confronted a suspected shoplifter and told him to leave the store. That's when police say the suspect pulled out a weapon and stabbed the 22-year-old. He then took off with stolen items. No arrest has been made. There are renewed calls to better protect First Nations from climate emergencies. It comes following the destructive wildfires last year that devastated communities and displaced thousands. The CBC's Josh Crabb reports. A new report from the Federal Housing Advocate calls for homes to be built to withstand fires, floods, and power outages.
In 2025, 88 First Nations across Canada were evacuated and more than 40,000 people were displaced. Canada's federal housing advocate says it further exposed unsafe evacuation conditions and long-term gaps in housing and infrastructure.
Many communities were already managing overcrowded housing, homes in need of major repairs.
A new report from Marie-Josée Houle examines the significant impact this had on people and made several recommendations. It says in Manitoba alone, the Red Cross booked 275,000 nights in hotels. There were many reports of evacuees receiving different and more limited services relative to guests. The report calls on governments to improve emergency responses. It says climate emergencies should have better planning. That would include rebuilding homes that can withstand emergencies to help prevent overcrowding when people return from being evacuated.
That is climate resilient and not necessarily appropriate to rebuild in the same footprint.
People in Opipon-Napiwin Cree Nation were forced out by fire in 2025. Wildfire threatened the community again this year, prompting another evacuation. Chief Shirley Ducharme has said the First Nation was left to manage the emergency with limited support and few answers. Fires have also led to evacuations in Pimachikamat Cree Nation. 400 people are still displaced following a 4-day winter power outage there, which left homes damaged.
So I think it's, we need to really move from emergency response and being reactive to be more prepared.
A Manitoba government spokesperson says it worked closely with First Nations and others during the 2025 fires and says it will continue to build on that work. The Minister of Indigenous Services Canada, Mandy Galmasti, pointed to $55 million in federal funding earlier this year to help First Nations deal with natural disasters, and says the federal government is working on implementing a First Nations-led approach to emergencies. Josh Crabb, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A motion has been put forward asking for the Southern Chiefs organization to hold a special meeting to consider the future of its Grand Chief. As CBC's Gavin Axelrod shows us, it's not the first time Jerry Daniels has had his leadership challenged in recent years.
It's the third time in 2 years the leadership of SCO Grand Chief Jerry Daniels has been called into question. A letter obtained by CBC News calls for the Southern Chiefs organization to hold a special Chiefs and Summit gathering to consider Daniels' future. The motion is moved by Lake Manitoba First Nation Chief Cornell McLean and seconded by Bloodvein First Nation Chief Lisa Young. CBC News reached Chief McLean by phone. Chief Young said she had no comment.
We want to have a look at his leadership, challenge his leadership and bring our concerns forward that we have.
McLean says he resigned from the Chiefs Executive Committee 2 months ago, citing high staff turnover and issues with the Grand Chief's office, along with a lack of transparency around meetings, board appointments, and projects. SCO is currently leading the $310 million redevelopment of the former Bay building in downtown Winnipeg.
For the big projects that are going, nobody knows about what's happening besides the board members and the Grand Chief. Other chiefs don't know what's happening. So, why not be open and transparent to us, and instead of showing it on Facebook, the little bit of people that are there.
The organization represents 33 First Nations in southern Manitoba. Its constitution says a Grand Chief may be removed from office by a 50% plus one count at a special summit held for that purpose as long as there's quorum. Daniels previously faced calls for his ouster last year. SCO also held a Chiefs and Summit after Daniels was hospitalized following an altercation in Ottawa in 2024. SCO says it has recommended the concerns be addressed at its next regular meeting in the fall. The organization also says it's committed to transparency and respects the rights of all chiefs to raise concerns and ask questions. Gavin Axelrod, CBC News, Winnipeg.
All right, time to bring Riley in now. Riley, I really hope people had a chance to get outside today, enjoy this summer weather while we still have it.
Yeah, a very decent day today, Brittany. I don't have a lot to talk about weather-wise across the province. Just having a look at the map, and that gives you a sense on why I don't have a lot to talk about. High pressure has really cleared us out. Still a little bit of cloud cover into parts of northeastern Manitoba, and that has led to a few scattered showers throughout the day today. But if I widen the map out, you can really just see how far west. Some of this sunshine extends, and this is what we've got coming for us as we get into the day tomorrow as well. So the next 24, even the next 36 hours, looking very decent weather-wise across the province. That does bode well for something in our night sky as we get Thursday night into Friday. I'll talk a little bit more about that later on, but I mean, very seasonal temperature-wise, a bit breezy at times. We'll see the winds lightening up as we get through the night tonight, but 24s for Winnipeg, Brandon, Steinbach at 25, Thompson 17 degrees where it was a little bit cloudier temperatures, slightly cooler through the afternoon today, a nearly full moon. That full moon happening as we get later into the week. 10 degrees overnight, clear skies, a light northwest wind, another decent start to the day tomorrow, mostly sunny 13. And if you didn't get out for the walk today, Brittany, do it tomorrow on your lunch break because we are looking at a very nice day tomorrow. Light north wind and very seasonal for this time of the year.
All right, get outside.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
From Manitoba to Mexico, these beautiful butterflies will soon make their way south, but a new project is going to track their journey. Find out how after the break. A new transitional housing complex in Brandon is looking to break the cycle of men going between homelessness and jail. It's all about bringing stability, which for many felt nearly impossible. CBC's Chelsea Kemp reports.
A new apartment is giving a new lease on life for Danny Wilson. He's the first resident of a new transitional housing complex in Brandon, moving in this April after months of experiencing homelessness. Wilson says transition to stability felt impossible until now.
I feel really lucky that I ended up here with kind of people around that want to support you and help you get back on your feet.
Since then, Wilson has gained 60 new neighbors across the 24-unit complex operated by the John Howard Society. Director Carla McDonald says the facility offers a welcoming space for men recovering from incarceration or navigating chronic homelessness.
There's been a couple guys that said, last time I got out, I just got out on the streets. It's easier to fall back into the old patterns. They see the same people that they got into, a bit of trouble with before. So here they have an opportunity to be held accountable for making changes in their lives.
The program also provides employment skills, like working in its commercial kitchen. David Gabriel joined the community in July after being released from the Brandon Correctional Center. Now he's cooking for his fellow residents.
A lot of the guys that come here, I knew them from in jail, and they're all happy for me because it's a big step in my life that I'm taking.
Wilson says he appreciates the staff support as he builds towards finding a new job at his own pace.
Baby steps here with me, I guess, and it's nice to have people that you can come to and you can't take the steps just by yourself.
The building's grand opening is Monday morning. Chelsea Kemp, CBC News, Brandon.
Social media giant Meta has agreed to pay $18 billion US to settle a lawsuit in California launched by dozens of states. They'd accused Meta of contributing to the youth mental health crisis by deliberately adding addictive features to its Instagram and Facebook platforms and hiding them from the public. Meta has also agreed to add stronger child safety measures to both Instagram and Facebook. It will put in a 2-hour time limit use for teens between the ages of 13 and 17 and ban their use altogether between midnight and 6 a.m. It will also stop notifications during the school day. Meta's promised to do more to ensure children under 13 can't use its platforms, and stronger, more user-friendly parental controls will also be added. The Canadian Centre for Child Protection says this is not a silver bullet, and they remain skeptical.
Fundamentally, what is needed is more than just a bunch of lawsuits. What we need is the creation of legal frameworks that impose actual duties of care, responsibilities onto the tech industry, which is something we currently don't have.
The centre also says this is a U.S. case, and it's unclear whether Meta would apply these same stipulations on Canadian accounts and youth. If approved by the court, the $18 billion will be paid to the states over a 10-year period to fund youth online safety initiatives. Meta settled the case while denying all allegations of wrongdoing. Monarchs are preparing to migrate to Mexico this fall. But this year, they'll have teeny tiny trackers following their trek south. The CBC's Bryce Hoy explains how researchers here in Manitoba plan to spy on them along the way.
Whoosh! In you go. Researchers at the Living Prairie Museum catching monarchs to track them, a first in Manitoba. This monarch's named Eddie. Laura Burns with the Assiniboine Park Zoo gently weighs Eddie down, then paints on eyelash glue and uses a tweezer to mount a tiny solar-powered antenna to follow Eddie on its migration south.
Everything we learn from each of them will tell us a story. Where are the pinch points of survival? So we're really hopeful that Eddie and all the other ones we're tagging today and tomorrow, at least some of them will make the full journey to those mountainous regions in Mexico to spend the winter. Monarchs captured here at the Living Prairie Museum will be followed during fall migration from the prairies to Mexico. Canadian Wildlife Service biologist Paulson DeBrise says we don't know how they get there.
One of the things we have to do is define where are the key habitats that these species need to survive, and then we can go about working with the relevant jurisdictions to protect those habitats. 29 monarchs were trapped and tagged in Manitoba. Experts say only a few will likely make it all the way to Mexico. Despite that, they are optimistic about the species' future and what they may learn from the data.
Research like this at least lets us know more about how that migration south is going to work, and hopefully we'll answer some questions about what's, harming them over the course of their life cycle.
Time and little radio transmitters will tell whether Eddie or the others make it. Bryce Hoy, CBC News, Winnipeg.
You know what? I don't have really big fingers, but I think even with my tiny fingers, that would be very difficult to get these tiny trackers onto these monarch butterflies.
Imagine the number of them that they drop.
I'm sure there's a better way that they do this, but
probably.
I don't know. I think it'd be cool to see the pathway down to Mexico.
Exactly.
Probably not a direct flight like most of us are imagining. Don't need to go to Mexico to get nice weather this week.
We are in for a very nice couple of days ahead. I mean, today, decent. Tomorrow, carbon copy. Friday, for most of us, still very nice as well. I do want to talk about something happening in the night sky, though. And you know what? If you can get out tomorrow evening, we're actually looking at a decent evening for this as well. A partial lunar eclipse happening in our skies, and you should be able to see this in the most total form of this, at least in the eastern half of the province. Most of southern Manitoba should have a good glimpse of this, even through most of northern Manitoba getting a good glimpse of this as well. So not a total lunar eclipse, which is when the Earth gets directly in the middle of the sun and the moon casting a shadow. The Earth not quite over the direct point in between the sun and the moon, but nonetheless, we'll still get a show. 93% coverage, so almost a full lunar eclipse through the evening. We'll see that starting around 9:30. The peak of it being just after 11 o'clock in the evening, Thursday evening. So if you can get out and take a look, the moon will be almost full as well. So it should be a nice bright show with that inner shadow covering 93% of the moon as we get through the evening tomorrow and ending around 1 o'clock in the morning. So you have a good few hours to catch a glimpse of this as we head into the evening. And very nice clear skies across much of the province as well. That's thanks to high pressure. Still a couple of scattered showers, as I was saying earlier, mostly confined to northeastern Manitoba and along the Hudson Bay coast, but that does decrease the shower chance as we get through the night tonight with this high pressure building in across the province. Nice sunny start tomorrow. Looking at maybe a few clouds here and there, but I'm calling it a mainly sunny sky to start the day, and really what you see is what you get through much of the day tomorrow. It's just a nice sunny one. As we get into Friday, though, there is a little bit of instability that will start to push into the province. This is a weak trough out ahead of an area of low pressure building to the west, which could impact us into the weekend. But this trough, I think most of this particular forecast model is overdoing some of this rainfall a bit as we get into Friday. I think this is another round of likely some hit and miss showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm into parts of western Manitoba as we head through Friday. But most of the modeling has been kind of drying this trough up as it pushes eastward. But nonetheless, could be a little blip in the forecast there with maybe a couple of showers through Friday. The main area of low pressure tracking northward, and this could bring a little bit of instability further north into Saturday, but it does increase the shower and thunderstorm chance pretty much province-wide as we get through the day on Sunday. So overnight temperatures 4 in Thompson, single digits for much of northern Manitoba overnight, 9 in Dauphin, 7 Brandon, 10s, 11s into the Red River Valley, and into tomorrow looking at another very seasonal one, 24 in Winnipeg, 25 to 27 in the West Brittany, and things also very seasonal into northern Manitoba tomorrow as well.
Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
Okay, he's cute, he's fluffy, and he's making his public debut. We introduce you to one of the newest members of the Assiniboine Park Zoo right after the break. Stay with us. A group of volunteers spent the morning giving a little TLC to one of the city's riverways. They call themselves the SOS River Keepers. The group was out along the Seine River this morning planting native trees and flowering shrubs to help stabilize the riverbank. Deer protection was also installed and invasive species were removed along with garbage from around the area.
Okay, so far for the dog walking forecast this week, we've had a really good variety, and I've got another good one for you this evening. Maybe this is in your Thursday plans. Sushi, enjoying a bit of a dip in the pool with the hose in the mouth. Thank you, Brett, for sending this picture, and send yours pleased to talk back at cbc.ca. I love these fun summertime ones, especially as we inch toward the end of the season here. So 24 tomorrow afternoon, lovely day. Lovely evening, a light north wind by the time we get into the evening tomorrow. A little bit warmer as we get into Friday, 26 degrees, 26 with a little bit more cloud cover as we get through Saturday. And then we've got that chance of showers or some thunderstorms as we get through Sunday, and we will start September on a warm note, 25 degrees. Well, it's no secret that we love animals here, from all of the pups to Feline Friday, of course.
Of course, but today we have another little guy to introduce you to in our daily lift. Okay, he's just 10 weeks old, and this adorable little red panda finally emerged from his nest box. He was born in June and spent his first few months tucked inside safely with mom. This is the 36th endangered red panda born at the zoo since 2003, and he doesn't have a name quite yet. That's to come. It may still be tough to catch a glimpse of him. He's only just starting to get out and explore. His mom, Maymay, is 4 and very protective.
It sounded like Mom was encouraging / bringing him, forcing the adventure. But yeah, he's out. He's fluffy. He's adorable.
Oh my goodness, red pandas are one of the animals that are in the zoo's breeding program. The program helps to contribute to the health, genetic diversity, and demographic variability of animals living in accredited zoos. They are endangered. Red pandas populations have declined significantly due to habitat loss, and it's estimated there are fewer than 2,500 left in the wild.
Look how cute he is.
Oh my goodness.
And she did say you still might have a hard time catching a glimpse of him because they're not forcing him to get out and engage with the public, but my goodness.
When I first saw the video, I thought maybe he resembled Manitoba Merv's cousin
Right,
or something.
he looks a little AI. I assure you, we've checked, he's real. We'll see you back here tomorrow.